William is in Atlanta. Hi, William. Welcome to the EntreLeadership Podcast.
Hey, Dave. Thanks for having me. How are you doing today?
Better than I deserve. What's up?
So I'm 26 years old. I own a land clearing business. We work as a subcontractor for many grading companies. Most of the developments are for some of the largest home builders in America, with some warehouse and commercial work as well. Last year we did just over $3 million. This year we're projected to do $4 million. And my team size is about 17 employees currently.
Okay, great. Good job.
Thank you. So my question is it worth being in this business or not? It's very capital intensive. I'm not getting paid on time, and I feel burnt out and discouraged.
Okay. So what's your profit on $4 million?
Not a ton. We're usually around 8 to 10%.
So
as of
28-year-old William in Atlanta, Georgia, paid taxes on $400,000 last year or this year. That'd be 10% of $4 million, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's correct.
Okay. So you made $400,000 and you're 28 years old and you own your own business.
Yes, sir.
And how many years, how long ago did you start it?
6 years ago.
Okay. All right. Because nothing you're describing there sounds bad. Maybe
Right.
Maybe the methodology to get to the $400,000 is what's killing you, and you can change some of that. You own the dadgum thing.
Yes, sir. That's been the biggest hurdle is waiting on payment from a lot of our customers.
Mm-hmm. How many customers do you have?
We've got about 7 to 8 customers that we work for pretty regularly.
So about $500,000 a piece average.
Yes, sir.
On a $4 million year.
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. And let's say customer A with $500,000 as an example. That represents how many jobs you would do for them in a year?
Typically 4 to 4.5.
So the typical job size is 100 to 150K.
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. All right. Here's what I want. So most of these are large companies, and so I definitely would not close this. The second thing is you said, let me go back before I leave that. I'm going to come back around to that whole thing in just a second. You said it's capital intensive, meaning you buy expensive equipment to clear the ground.
Correct.
Okay. All right. And so how much in equipment do you own?
When all the assets combined, it's about $3.5 million.
And that's all land clearing equipment?
Yes, sir.
You don't own any real estate in $3.5 million?
Not included in that, no, sir.
So you have tractors and, it's not tractors, but...
like excavators, loaders, grinders.
Mm-hmm. And how much debt do you have on all that?
$1.6 million.
On $3.5 million worth of equipment?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So let's pretend for a second that you had half as much equipment, no debt, and you only made $3 million, $2.5 million, but you made $400,000 on that, and everybody was paying on time. No debt, everybody's paying on time, and you're paying cash for your equipment from this point forward, and you've got half as much equipment right now in my new scenario because I just sold the one that you're in debt on. Just bear with me for a second. I want you to breathe this in because I'm trying to figure out your burnout, okay? Your burnout's from fighting debt. You feel like you're fighting a losing battle, and you can't get these goobers to pay you, and yet you're making $400,000 a year at 28 years old, just a few years into owning your business. That's pretty dadgum successful, and yet you're burnt out. So to me, it sounds like the debt load the idea that there's no light at the end of the tunnel, that I'm going to constantly be in debt the rest of my life, and the bad customers are taking the fun, the bad customer payment history is taking the fun out of your business. Is that what you're telling me?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. Because you're a sharp dude, man. All right. So what I would do is begin a process gradually, and it might take 2 years, it might even take 3, to either paying off the equipment and or selling equipment to become debt-free. That's step 1. That won't keep you from being burnt out until you deal with, and you can start this tomorrow with your customers. You said you had 7 or 8 customers, right?
That's correct.
Okay. I want you to pick out the 2 worst ones on payment and let them know that if they can't prepay you starting now on the jobs because they're so bad at paying that you're not going to be able to do business with them anymore. I want you to fire them.